So yeah, I just got robbed of doing a cool presentation. I'll do it now because okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time, because we are now into the final race of this season 13, and it's also the final race here on F1 As we know, F1 24 just a few weeks away from being released, and this is gonna be the last Division 1 race we are doing here in F1 23. It's the season finale, and the championship, it is still on between Felix and Kart Racer. It is worth mentioning, Kart Racer is leading with 13. He's leading with a 13 points gap. So Felix, to win the championship tonight, will need to gain a whopping 14 points. So I mean, mathematically it is always possible. Formula 1 league racing, always extremely unpredictable. We never know what might happen. I mean, if we look at it realistically and think about the average finish of every other race this season, I mean, any points, but like I said, we never know. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but you know how it goes. If it's a crash, a game issue, maybe forcing Kart Racer out of the race, that might be the chance for Felix to actually win the championship. We never know. And well, as you can see, the last race will be here in Brazil at the wonderful track of Interlagos. It's always a historical track, and a track that has always produced great racing, and I'm sure this is not gonna be an exception here tonight. And by the end of this race, we're gonna discover if we're gonna have a 5-time world champion for the first time in F1 Total, or still for the first time in F1 Total we will have 2 4-time world champions. Because if Kart Racer win the championship tonight, that's gonna be the case. If Felix wins, it's gonna be 5 championships for Felix in his career, 3 for Kart Racer, and it could also be the first title that Felix wins in this game, because he hasn't won a title since season 10, and season 10 was in F1 22. So it's been a long time coming from Felix to actually try and win a title again. And obviously he's gonna hoping to do the best he can tonight to actually have a chance. But it is still long. It's gonna be 36 laps of racing here in Brazil, and I'm sure it's gonna be exciting despite whatever the result is. So we are now that I lost some time for the introduction, as I had to join the lobby again, we can see 13 drivers, actually 14 because Phantom joined. He's gonna select a car pretty soon. JM and Bazooka with no lap time set, but the 2 championship contenders are already at the front. Felix with a 7.6, Kart Racer with a 7.9, Jeremy very close behind, just 3 thousandths behind Kart Racer. As you can see, we also have a new driver that joined today, just a few hours before the race. It is Fernando Alonso in the Haas. You know, for the memes, I'm just gonna call him Alonso, because I can't be asked to actually try and say Alonso, so I'm just gonna call him Alonso, like if it was real F1, just to have less problems while talking. So there we go, Phantom has joined of the momentary positions, as Felix is in provisional pole with a 7.9, Kart Racer and Jeremy and Rudy all in the 7.9s. Then we have Marco in P5 8.3, Jonathan in P6 8.4, Alonso 8.7 in P7, Pinky 8.8 is in P8, Thok with a 9.0 in P9, Pocho with a 9.1 in P10, Kucho has a 1.15, but he's already improving by 6 seconds, definitely must have made a mistake in his lap. So the Red Bull reserve is gonna now come across the finish line. As we can also see, oh, it invalidates on the straight. Oh, Cuccio, you invalidated on the straight. I mean, you take the inside line very close to the wall to minimize track distance, but that's what happens if you're not careful enough. You just invalidate on the straight, and that's Cuccio's lap invalidated. As we saw for a brief moment, his Brazil helmet, I mean his Senna helmet, a replica of legendary Ayrton Senna's helmet, legendary Brazilian driver. As we also have the Senna SS in this track being dedicated to him, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see the remembering of the driver who a few days back, a few days ago, just like barely a week ago, it was the 30th anniversary of Ayrton Senna's death on the 1st of May. And so we always remember him. But anyway, I actually haven't done a properly commentated lap, but I think I'm gonna do it right now with Phantom Fox. So now going into turn 1, trail braking, going downhill, very easy to lose traction, so you need to be very careful as Phantom already invalidates. Never mind. Gonna have to commentate someone else. I don't know who I can. Well, actually, okay, so I have the track map on my phone right now. Who can I commentate? Like, I need someone to go across the finish line. Well, Pocho is about to finish. I want to do a fully commentated lap because I should have done it at the beginning, but I disconnected. So who can I do? Rudy. Well, Rudy is already pushing. The Alpha Tauri, who is that? It's JM, who is already pushing. I want to see someone starting the lap right now. Maybe Aston, Pinky. Okay, Pinky on the out lap. So we're gonna commentate with the Aston Martin of Pinky for this lap at Interlagos. Now coming into turn 1, trail braking, going downhill, and it's very easy to lose traction. So be very careful on the throttle on the exit and take any invites, mate. I want to commentate the lap. Like, come on. There is a Ferrari. It is Jonathan pitting. There is Aston Martin. Is Phantom invalidating. I want to commentate the lap, please. Come on. Alonso invalidated. Bazooka. I think I can commentate Bazooka. He's on the out lap. What about, yeah, that is Pocho behind him. So, hopefully I can commentate the lap with Bazooka. Here in Interlagos, now, into zone 1, going downhill, trail braking up until the apex. You need a very good entry and a good exit right now into the NSS, take the inside curb as much as possible, and now after turn 3 it's a DRS, and now into turn 4 as we finish sector 1 it's a 17.1 for Bazooka. Now into turn 4 the Cida del Lago going downhill, and now into turn 5 should have been a little bit wider, but now going uphill, and now into the very fast turn 6 followed by turn 7. And now sector 2, very technical. You need a lot of cornering speed and lots of downforce in here as we approach now turn 9, and then turn 10, very hard braking, and watch out for the throttle on the exit as we approach turn 11, flat out, going downhill as we finish sector 2. It's a 52.2, now going uphill with turn 12, and now sector 3 all the way flat out up until the finish line as these corners are pretty much part of the straight. DRS up until the finish line, and it's a 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.2 for Bazooka. Well, not the fastest lap I've commentated, but I mean, I finally did one. Maybe I'll commentate Felix of Catch Racer later. Alright, so So Kuch is back into the pits. Right now on track there is the Haas of Rudy, who is currently in P3, 7.8, just 2 tenths away from Felix. But Cat Chaser and Felix are only separated by 30 thousandths, both on a 7.6. Obviously these two will be challenges for pole position, but let's not count out Rudy. Let's not count Rudy out, because this man was the race winner from Jeddah last week after a wonderful drive, and we will see if he's gonna put up a challenge even tonight, because I think he will. These top 4 of drivers are all very close on pace, so we're definitely off for a good one. Now, as this can be a challenge for pole position, I'm gonna commentate the lap of Rudy now in the Haas, and now into turn 1. You need a very hard braking right now, going into 4th, taking the inside curb as much as possible, and I have never seen so many invalidations on that corner. Like, come on, it's not Austria, it's Brazil. Like, get your lap together, come on. There is Phantom. Phantom still hasn't a lap time set. We have 3 minutes left until the end of qualifying. Now, I'm gonna commentate a lap again. Come on, Phantom, let us dream. Now, into zone 1, braking right until the apex, and now you need a very good exit of the zone 3 into this NSS, and now exiting zone 3, going alongside the pit straight with the DRS. It's the end of sector 1, and it's 17.0 now into turn 4, downhill, the Ciudad del Lago, and now into turn 5, going uphill. You need to gain as much speed as possible, because you need to be very fast through turn 6 and turn 7, as he takes that in 6th gear and almost slides out of it. And now into the very technical sector 2 with turn 8 and turn 9, and now uphill into turn 10, which is a corner to watch out for dive bombs. And the Phantom's riding at the exit of turn 10, now flat out downhill, and it's a 51.8 and the end of sector 2, exiting of turn 12. It's completely flat out up until the line. Phantom still hasn't a single lap time set, but he's gonna set one right now with the DRS. The Aston Martin driver, he's gonna set himself with a 8.6. He's in P8, and I don't think he will have time to improve, so that's qualifying. Felix and Cat Chaser are also approaching the start of the final lap. Thok has just started. There is also the McLaren of Pocho. Pocho actually finished one. He's down. He's in P10. But now Felix, the championship runner-up, he's on provisional pole position right now, but I think he definitely wants to improve on that lap time, because he needs to gain as much distance as possible from Cat Chaser. In the meanwhile, Rudy sets a 7.7 in P3, and there is Pocho crashing out of turn 4. It looks like he went deep. I don't know how, but anyway. Alonso crashed. I think you can see that at the exit of turn 2, hitting the barrier on the outside. That's the qualifying line for the Haas driver debuting tonight. He's in P11. But let's go back to the championship runner-up, because Felix is improving by 71 thousandths. What about Cat Chaser? I don't see the improvement from him. But now Felix, at the end of sector 2, improved by 2 tenths. It's a purple sector 2. It's exactly 185 thousandths of improvement for the Ferrari driver, and now he's gonna go across the finish line. He's on provisional pole position, but he will improve that lap time even more, as Felix sets a 7.500 down to the thousandths. It is provisional pole position for Felix actually. But what about Cat Chaser? Because Cat Chaser has abandoned his lap. Cat Chaser is not improving. That's his qualifying done, and Rudy also abandoned his lap. What about Jeremy? Jeremy's pushing, but it's not going to be enough to gain the position on Felix, and he stays in P4 with a 107.7, and I think everyone is about to finish. Jonathan is done. JM across the finish line, improving by 2 tenths for now. JM is gonna set himself in P5. It's 8.2 for the AlphaTauri reserve. Bazooka just set himself, Cuccio sets himself in P9. 8.5, just 9 thousandths behind Pinky, behind his Division 2 teammate. And I'm gonna also use the occasion to mention it right now, because Cuccio and JM, these two drivers, are fighting for the championship in Division 2 on Wednesday. So they are practicing right now in Brazil in Division 1, so that they can get the best result possible in Brazil, as they're gonna have to fight for the championship. It's a very close fight. It's between Cuccio leading, Sean Mull being in P2. Sean Mull is not racing today, and then there is JM in P3, and it's gonna be a very exciting. I mean, frankly, it is more exciting than Division 1, because, I mean, let's be honest. As much as Kart Racer and Jeremy can, no, not Jeremy. What did I say? As much as Kart Racer and Felix can put up as much as they can put up any good racing, it is between those two. Like Kart Racer in P2 has more than 100 points of distance from P3. Like it is been like that for the entire F1 23 game cycle, so that's why Division 2 keeps being more exciting. But anyway, qualifying is done here in Brazil for the final race of season 13. We'll go down to the results, as Felix starts from pole position and Kart Racer is in P2, Rudy P3, Jeremy P4, JM in P5 and Marco in P6, Jonathan P7, Pinky P8, Cuccio in P9, Bazooka runs off the top 10, Phantom is in P11, Fok in P12, Poch in P13 and Alonso starting in P14. And I don't think we have more than 14 drivers. So that's the grid here today for Brazil, as now the game is loading, and we're gonna wait for the drivers to select the strategies. I don't think I've seen the weather report, but I haven't been advised, so I think it's gonna be all dry. Well, it is cloudy. It is quite cloudy. But no one mentioned rain in the Discord chat, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna stay dry. Now drivers are selecting their strategies and their fuel, maybe making also some minor setup adjustments to go all out on this final race of this season. And it's one final championship fight tonight here in Brazil, and it's 5 red lights and it's lights out, and away we go for the final race here in season 17 in Brazil. And Felix gets a wonderful start. Kart Racer is gonna already try to get alongside. They're already side by side going through turn 1 and turn 2, and Kart Racer already made a move off the start, and there is a contact between it's Rudy and AlphaTauri Marco. Marco and Rudy have come together at turn 2. They haven't crashed, but they made contact and lost lots of time. But let's go back to the top, because Kart Racer has already made a move on Felix, already side by side into turn 1 and 2, and the Mercedes driver is already leading. So Felix is gonna obviously try to get back the position, but let's remember the race is still very long. It's gonna be 36 laps. Now moves at the back, as Alonso, Pocho, Rudy are fighting for positions, fighting for the points momentarily. Now let's have a look at the driver strategies, because it is pretty spread out, pretty balanced between mediums and hards. So some are going for medium hards, others are going for hard medium, and there is an AlphaTauri going to track. It's Thok. Yes, Thok has gone slightly deep at the end of sector 2, and that's Thok down in P14. And now we approach the second lap of this race, and the Kart Racer has already gone out of DRS from Felix. Wing damage from their incidents earlier in the race. Yes, it's a wing change for the Alfa Romeo and for the AlphaTauri as well. But let's go Jeremy Felix, because Jeremy, I'm sorry I missed that, Jeremy has made a move on Felix. Now Felix is down in P3. That's not the best of starts for Felix. But he's playing along in the yellow flags. It's Alonso. Alonso spinning in Haas at turn 7. And he's down in P12 with quite a big gap from the drivers ahead of him. Now, Felix is on the hards, so he's gonna be slower at the start, but he's playing the long game. He's trying to make tire wear less severe. Yellow flags for Phantom. Phantom is slowing down. I don't know if he got wing damage, but anyway, moves between JM, Pinky and Jonathan. Who's ahead of each other, I don't know. Let's see, Felix and Jeremy. As Felix almost made a move, but not quite. Now into lap 3, DRS is now enabled, but Jeremy is already out of DRS. Catchers is having a wonderful first stint as he already broke the gap. But anyway, Felix is already making a move on the inside of turn 4 and now gets the P2 back from Jeremy. What about the midfield pack? Now Bazooka is defending a P8 momentarily, defending from Pocho, Rudy and Phantom slightly more behind, while Cucho is chasing the front runners all in front of him, and Cat Racer he's driving on his own, at least for now. It's a very, very long race, and yellow flags again. It's Alonso. Alonso again spinning, definitely not having the greatest of races here at his debut in F1 Total. As he spun again, and he's still in P12 because Marco and Falk already lost time. So yeah, also now his tires are overheating like crazy. Definitely not the best race. But anyway, Jeremy is making a move on Felix. Now Jeremy is up into P2, and Felix was almost battling with his teammate, but not quite. What about Bazooka and Rudy? Falk gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and are we gonna see any moves? It's Rudy making a move on the inside. In the meanwhile, there is Thok spinning, but now Rudy going for the inside line of turn 4, gets the move done on Bazooka, getting that P9, and now he's gonna chase after Pocho. There is a Haas going. It is Alonso again. Alonso, you're going off track too many times. Get a grip, mate. As he went deep now into turn 1. I mean, it is lap 4, and he spun 3 times. Spun 2 times and went deep 1 time. I get it's your debut, but get a grip. I don't know, maybe if there's a safety car, everything could still be fixed. It is too early to judge. Anyway, Pocho is trying to defend that P8 against Rudy, but now Rudy will have the DRS on the main straight. In the meanwhile, Cat Racer sets the fastest lap with a 10.9, obviously making the mediums work. But now Rudy with the DRS gets ahead very much before the braking zone, and is now into P8. What about the top runners? Because we have this DRS train going from Jeremy in P2 to Cucho in P7. But they are still following each other. Moves are not there yet. Gonna have to wait a little bit more than that for actual overtakes. But our Cat Racer is driving very, very comfortably in the lead of the race. Jeremy is in P2, but he's not so comfortable as he's gonna have all of the pressure behind him. Now we are on lap 5. The hards, I reckon, will still be slower. We're gonna have to wait a few more laps before the hards start being faster than the mediums. And yeah, at the moment Felix with the hards is in P3, so he just needs to hang on in position because the compound advantage will come into play later on, just a few laps later than this. As you have JM having a look up at the inside. Didn't send it, it was too far to send it. But interesting, JM and Cucho are right behind each other. They're practicing for the Division 2 final. For the Division 2 finale they're gonna have later on in the week. On Wednesday, 7:30. You can don't you dare miss the Division 2 finale because it's gonna be just epic. As we have Jonathan staying very, very close to Felix. It is also because of the tires, but I mean he's making his pace work. They're staying very, very close together. But actually, now that I think about it, Kart Racer has no teammate today because Blaster just hasn't been attending races since the Ice Age. But Jonathan, I mean, there's not much he can do right now, but maybe later on, if there's a safety car, you know, things changes and etc., Jonathan might come into play for the teamwork. And oh, Bazooka has been spun round at turn what is it, 13? 12, well, it is 13. Bazooka has been spun round, don't know if there was contact. That's the Alpine down in P11, momentarily out of the points. Jeremy is still having a lot of pressure behind him. Felix is staying as close as he can, but he's still struggling to actually find a place to overtake. Maybe he's just playing the long game, you know. Cucho and JM also, Cucho making a move on JM. Now the Red Bull is up into P6. Marco and Alonso fighting down at the bottom of the grid. Alonso gets in P12. But at the top it is still the same. Kart Racer driving completely on his own, defending this very comfortable lead. And what about Jeremy and Felix? Not quite. Felix it is still staying behind, not making a move, and Jonathan also staying very close to Felix. He's showing great pace today. There is some battling behind between Pinky and Cucho, as well they both have DRS, but Cucho had a little bit more of overspeed, but still not enough to actually try and get past. Now the battling we will see will be between Fernando Alonso and Marco D'Arco in P12 and P13, as the AlphaTauri gets ahead. And they're fighting, well, not for points. They need to overtake 2 more cars, which are 18 seconds ahead. Safety car yet to come. Just need to wait. I mean, even if there is a safety car, we don't know. But now Felix has the DRS, and he looks like he has quite a lot of overspeed as he gets ahead before the braking zone of turn 1. Now Felix is finally back again in P2, but he has a massive gap from Kart Racer. They are 4 seconds apart. Now with 8 laps, hards I think will start to be faster than the mediums, but I mean it is still not enough to close the gap from Kart Racer. Cucho gets ahead of Pinky. Now Cucho is in P5, going down into turn 4. And he's gonna chase Jonathan very soon. But let's go back to Felix and Jeremy. Now Felix not only needs to defend from Jeremy, he needs to find a lot of pace to actually recover from Kart Racer, because it is 4 seconds. I mean, but even so, even if Felix wins the race and Kart Racer is in P2, it will still not be enough, because Felix needs to gain so many points on Kart Racer. He needs to... He hopes that Kart Racer has bad luck, that he crashes or does something, whatever. As we have Alonso coming out to the pits, and there is a McLaren being spun on. It is Pocho. Pocho cutting the grass out of turn 13. As he kind of slides a little bit, getting back on track. He gets overtaken by Bazooka. Now he's gonna have to fight to get back into the points. And Cucho crashed! Cucho crashed out of turn 2. It's a safety car! Cucho has crashed at the exit wall of turn 2 and has brought out the full course safety car. As we can see the Red Bull on the outside wall on the right side. Safety car is on track, race is being neutralized. It is great news for Felix, because he can find a way. Actually, it's quite a hard situation for Felix, because I mean he can recover the gap, so he's gonna be close to Kart Racer finally, but Felix is already on the hards, and I think he definitely needs to use the free pit stop during the safety car, but he's gonna have the mediums, and mediums is gonna be such a stretch up until the end. So it is great news for Kart Racer, because he's on the mediums right now. He can go to the hards until the end. Felix is kind of in a stinky situation right now. Strategies will be very hard to pull off right now. I mean, not that hard for the medium runners, but it will be hard for the hard runners. No pun intended.